The Enrichment Center apologizes for this clearly broken test chamber.
So now she's trying to discourage you from trying to solve the puzzle. And where's the radio? I can hear it.
Once again, the Enrichment
Oh,
Center
there it is.
offers its most sincere apologies on the occasion of this unsolvable test environment.
Oh, I see. I'm just trying to remember the puzzle. There's actually multiple ways to solve this. That's interesting. Let me just try this out.
Frankly, this chamber was a mistake. If we were you, we would quit now.
And also notice this is the first time she's just talking to us during the puzzle. Up until now she would talk at the start of the room, and then she would talk at the end when you've solved it. And that is like if you go to sort of...
No one will blame you for giving up. In fact, quitting at this point is a perfectly reasonable response.
In the developer commentary, they make a point of how most players found that to be really annoying and distracting. Like every time she talked to you, you would, stop and listen to her. And in fact, it's actually even.
Fantastic. You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
So now she makes it seem like she was doing that on purpose. Like in the testing, they found that if she kept talking to you while you were thinking about how to solve the puzzle, it actually made the player more annoyed than anything else. So now in this chamber, they're doing it on purpose to make her annoying and to make her pessimistic and to make her seem like she's trying to make you fail. I'm gonna do this puzzle a second time. I'm gonna do it differently this time. Let's see. I'm gonna do this again. And then I'm gonna go through here. So this is another way to solve it. I'm just gonna try and figure out how many ways there are to solve this puzzle. Actually, I think there's... You can throw these things too, like if you do that, you can throw them. I'm trying to throw it through that hole there. Oops. I'm not very good at throwing these things, but you can probably do it. Just throw it through the hole in the wall. Ow. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that there are in fact multiple ways to solve this. So even though they tell you this is an impossible, or GLaDOS tells you this is an impossible chamber, and they don't really give you that many clues, and in fact, at first glance it seems kinda complex. The fact is, they give you fewer clues, but there's more ways to solve it. And so again, it's kind of impossible to fail. Well, it's not impossible, I guess, if you're really just not smart. But it's really difficult to fail this, despite what they say, and despite how it appears. And there you saw how the lift was delayed in coming down. Again, that's like a really subtle way to communicate to the player that things aren't that things aren't quite going as planned, maybe, or something's not quite right here, or it's not as smooth as before. You heard the subtle change in tone in the way GLaDOS talked to you. Like in the chamber with the water that kills you, like she wasn't as happy when you solved it, and then in the next chamber she was trying to get you to quit. So the game is just subtly changing, or GLaDOS is subtly changing and things are, you know, maybe not as they seem, or that the game's trying to communicate to you the idea that the game is not quite as it seems.
Hello again. To reiterate previous warning. Momentum.
So here, like, she's not even helping you, right? Like the message is messed up. You're supposed to. I don't remember this part. That's funny. Anyway, so the portal's there. I think you can just jump across. Oops. Can we jump across? Ah, we can. So this part, I think, introduces you to this. I mean, I use the word visual language. Basically, it's just, you know, things you see that are repeated in the game. That like when you see them, they mean a certain thing. Obviously, symbols and words, they're a type of visual language. But the fact that all the doors are circular and they look the same, the exit always has that sign on it, stuff like that. So that's visual language, right? That's the game communicating to you using symbols and architectural elements, I guess you would call these. Like the wall is pushed out, there's these two things bordering where the portal would be. That's interesting, she's not talking to us. Yeah, so GLaDOS is no longer helping us as much. That's interesting. So they're starting to introduce the idea that maybe GLaDOS isn't as helpful as she appears. I mean, obviously at the start of the game, they're just introducing you to the elements, so they're being more helpful there, but as you go through the game, the computer helps you less and less, or it seems like GLaDOS helps you less and less, and then maybe you feel like you're doing more of the problem solving by yourself. But you know, the game is still telling you what to do. Like there, 1, jump in there, 2, fly out there, and you know, that's that, and I guess that means we have to put a portal down there. So I mean, they just give you the solution right here on the ground. So it's not like it's asking you to solve anything really, they're just telling you exactly what to do. But again, this is the first time we encounter this type of puzzle, and so it's important to teach the player what's going on. And there's this too, like this, what do you call it, like a diving platform leading out. Again, that's another visual element that indicates to you that you need to put a portal at the bottom.
Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not.
So she's talking to you about how portals don't affect momentum. I guess it's a little bit complicated, that concept. I mean, it's not too hard. You can, oh, look, the radio. So those things came out, and I looked up because I knew they were there. And again, I'm playing through this game as though I've played through it several times before instead of new. So if you walked in here, like the panel's pushing out, you wouldn't see it straight away, but you would hear it. You know, there's a sound to it coming out, and so I guess then that would make you look up at it. Again, both audio and visual cues. And oh look, 1 dot, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. So you know, again, telling you the steps. First step, second step, third step, how to do things, giving you instructions basically. And this time the portal is on the floor, so we need to put the missing portal, which is on the thing at the top. Let's see, there's a staircase before you can walk back up. So nothing too complex, I guess. Like, yeah, again, like I don't know. That's the problem with doing a game not blind. Like you play through it and everything seems obvious and you forget what it's like for new players. I guess this is pretty much the exact same setup as the one in the other room. You need to jump up there, and the exit you can see the sign from here. Even though you can't really see the door, you can see the sign, so they're telling you where you need to go, and they're telling you the steps that you need to take. And again, pushing that out is the same visual language as in the previous room. You put the portal on the panel that's been pushed out, so a lot of clues.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity, is conserved between portals. In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out.
Right, and then so she's, if you haven't figured it out already, she's telling you about momentum and portals and how all that works. And again, this, you know, jagged edge here indicates that maybe you dive off it. And that, like, I just put that there straight away because I know the answer to the puzzle already. But you know, as you stand up here, you saw that push outwards. And that, again, you know, that indicates to the player that this is part of the next step. You know, if you want to solve the next part of the puzzle, then the part that changed is probably what you're looking for, right? And that's it for this room. What else is it to say? Nothing. Nothing. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. I think this is...
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it.
Useful advice. Okay, avoid the floor. What do we have here? Like, what is this? Why does this do this? I'm just figuring out why they designed... You know, because... You know, Valve are fairly smart people, as we've seen up to now in the game. Like, everything is well considered, all the puzzles are designed to communicate to you certain things so you can figure out the puzzle and all that. So, let's just assume that Valve are smart people, and everything they do has a reason. Why the steps up? You can hear something going on, you can hear portals being fired. The steps up, and then the steps up. Why did they feel it necessary to step upwards? I'm not sure, actually. But anyway, the reason for the window here is fairly obvious. They give you a full view of the puzzle. Well, almost full view. You can't see what's underneath you. And you can see the portal gun firing in that direction, so you gotta assume that something's happening back there as well. But they give you a view of the puzzle in a safe room. Like, you can't fall in, you can't die in here. But obviously once you jump in there you can die. So you can see that thing, a portal gun firing orange portals. And we drop the portal down so we can see what's going on through this portal here. We can see that there's actually another room opposite. In fact, like, if we go down here, there's no safe area to go, but we can see that once we put a portal down, there's in fact a thing here. Press E to use. This is the first time we've seen a switch like this, I think. But again, it's the big red button, so it's pretty hard to miss. You can hear the ticking, so it's timed. When the ticking stops, the door closes. You know, you see the orange line which turns blue when the switch is off. Again, colors, sounds, everything has a language to it. How should we do this? Oh, I remember. You put a portal in there, and you wait for that portal gun to fire at this wall here. So we can get over here. That's good. Now we have the pellet, and we have the switch. So we do that. Then that goes in the wrong direction, okay.